And this is the moment where snippets into what is still to come on the program or on the platform is shared. So please read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast. Like it and share it. To invite your friends and your not so friendly friends. Yeah, your frenemies. Tell them that it is brunch time with Mayegun live. Brethren, the news that hit us early this morning was that of the Foundation for Investigative Journalism in Nigeria, Fisayo Shoyombo, the young man who has dedicated his life in exposing the institutionalized corruption in Nigeria. He is a man who had gone beyond reporting by putting himself in the arm's way in participating clandestinely in the systemic corruption that has pervaded the contraption called Nigeria. To everyone who knows Fisayo very well, the APC, Egbekegbese Ronukus, they despise him, just same way they despise David Undenyi. Sometimes they would prefer this guy to David because David is somebody who doesn't really keep prisoners. When David comes for you, it is shoot to kill. Unfortunately, his craft is not really welcomed in that contraption, unfortunately. But you see, for Fisayo will put himself, his own safety on the line in investigating the institutionalized corruption. Fisayo investigated the Nigerian police, as well as their collaboration with the judiciary, where criminals could get preferential treatment in our supposed criminal justice system of that contraption. Fisayo Shoyombo has won many awards, right, for risking his own life in bringing to us the true story, the facts of how rotten the Nigerian system is. Fisayo Shoyombo has done so many investigative jobs. For example, a few years back, he put his life on the line when he volunteered to be smuggled by the human traffickers out of Nigeria, where he ended up in this Agadez on the way to Libya, just to report what the average Nigerians, young Nigerians are facing in trying to escape from Nigeria and how much the corrupt Nigerian immigration system is in cahoots, in partnership with human traffickers in Nigeria. He came back with the reports. That never changed anything. Fisayo Shoyombo also investigated the Nigerian police, the corrupt police in Nigeria, as well as the judicial bandits, where a person, right, reported that Fisayo Shoyombo did not want to pay for a car he bought from them, and he owed them money. And the Nigerian police arrested him, and they asked or demanded for bribe. When he wouldn't pay the bribe, they sent him to prison in collaboration with another judge, right? And they were asking him to pay money, and they will let him go, and they should forget about the person that told them to arrest him. But because he wanted to show to us how rotten the criminal justice system of Nigeria is. He went to jail only for him to see more from the four walls of Nigerian prison and what was going on inside the place. Eventually, the person that took him to, arrested him, decided to drop the case. Drop the case because it was a sting operation. That too never changed anything. Fisayo Shoyombo carried out a sting operation on the Nigerian customs, where he exposed and still exposing the collaboration between the Nigerian custom and the smugglers, those who are smuggling, contrabands into Nigeria, rice, drugs, weapons. He did not just report on them, he exposed their names and those behind it. Rather, they ignored him. So 3 days ago, Fisayo Shoyombo will probably, by now, maybe in another few days, it would have probably been regaling us with the reports of how the Nigerian army, as well as the bunkers, in fact, how the Nigerian army has been the brain behind the stealing of Nigeria crude oil. You see, these reports or this kind of stories, they are not really new to Nigerians. We've heard a lot about the collaboration of the supposed law enforcement agents in Nigeria collaborating with criminals to further destroy that contraption. But we've never really had any investigative journalist go into these corrupt institutions in Nigeria to bring to us the real story, how they have been doing it. So this morning, the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, FIJ, raised the alarm that the Nigerian army had kidnapped Fisayo Shoyombo, and they've locked him up for 3 days. They took his phone, took his laptop, took other things that he's been using to cover all the activities of oil bunkers. And if nothing is done ASAP, the Nigerian army would delete all this evidence. Few hours later, the Nigerian army that kidnapped Fisayo Shoyombo in Port Harcourt and did not tell anyone that they arrested a journalist, decided to come out to say Fisayo Shoyombo was caught with some criminals doing oil bunkering. And guess those who practically just jumped up? The Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the druggy supporters. According to them, finally, and don't touch Fisayo. Because some of them were not happy that Fisayo Shoyombo exposed not only that he reported the smuggling syndicates in Nigeria, he actually recorded the act of smuggling into Nigeria with tens of videos to back it up. The Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the bat idiots, the bastards, bunch of criminals, they were calling for his head. They said Fisayo is targeting someone's means of business, like is targeting some people's livelihood. Because if you are not a criminal, you can't really support a Tifnumbu in good conscience. You must be a hardened criminal to support a Tifnumbu or be a supporter of APC. Whoever is exposing crime or any crime that involves the government, the criminals in Nigeria who are the friends of the government, is considered an attack on them. So according to them, why should Fisayo be showing the smugglers? Why is he attacking the livelihood of some people? So one day, and go touch him. So Fisayo, who was in the Port Harcourt for about 4 days, for about 7 days now from the report we gathered. 4 days into the sting operation, the Nigerian army discovering that he is a journalist, he is not a bunker, they arrested him. And they kept him in their custody for over 3 days. They did not alert the public. They did not hand him over to the police. Rather, they confiscated all his equipment, all, his recording equipment. And they released a statement this morning by telling all of us that he was arrested with illegal bunkers. And for those who know better, Fisayo, Shoyombo is recording the activities of the Nigerian army, especially their officers who are those behind the stealing of a Nigeria crude oil, something they threatened Asari Dokupig for. Remember, they told Asari that they will kill Asari if Asari dared to fight them. Asari Dokudom came out and said, the people behind oil bunkering in Niger Delta, they are the Nigerian army. He said it boldly. And since then, they have been looking for means of taking him out. It's just going to be, anyway. So people are reacting. If you caught a journalist doing a sting operation, and then he identified himself as a journalist, should you still lock him up, detain him until people raise alarm? So today, people are calling on the Nigerian army that are acting like they are above the law, which I think they are, to be honest, to release Fisayo Shoyombo, a journalist that was going to expose them if he was not, discovered. So right now, a lot of people are kind of adding their voice, and we intend to see how that play out by the end of the day. So away from Shoyombo, talking about the same oil, the NNPC, they have come out again. The Melekiyari, not Melekiyari per se, they said they are not selling the refinery. In fact, let's start with this. They said that person who came out to confirm to us that the Port Harcourt refinery is actually not working, to confirm our own suspicion. So they have come out to debunk that, to say that person is a self-made oil, whatever. That you should not believe him. Rather, you should believe us, the NNPC, as well as their friends. On the part of them selling the PMS at 1,045 naira, 75 naira above Dangote's price, a locally refined product, more expensive than somebody who is importing his own crude oil. They said, we don't have any explanation for that. But the only thing we can tell you is that we did not set the price yesterday when somebody told you that it's being sold for 1,045 naira per liter. Now we have set the price. Per liter is going to be 1,030 naira. So the lies of them selling the old stock as they claimed is no longer sticking. They are insisting now that the one they are selling is refined inside the Port Harcourt old refinery. I told you, like, whenever they are caught and exposed, they will double down. It is always their modus operandi. Double down. When they are caught in their propaganda and lies, double down. Anyone who disagrees, then they will unleash their security force or their security agents on you, kidnap you, lock you up, and force you to retract. So when people come out in the face of these rogues, in this moment of propaganda, to tell you the truth, I want you to understand the type of risk or the kind of risks they are taking. The risks that will likely put their own lives and livelihood in danger. So according to the NNPCL, they are refining crude oil inside the Port Harcourt refinery. And the final product is going to be sold for 30 naira. And this is NNPCL. So which means the marketers that will buy from them, which is total falsehood, by the way. I am just using their own, the word they put out there. Everything they are saying is total falsehood, right? However, this their imported fuel, PMS, that they are currently, diluting. They call it blending. I call it dilution. They are diluting in Port Harcourt, where only 3-4 trucks can be loaded in a single day, even though they told you that they are loading 200 trucks. A lie. So now this is their own their own retail price. So which means the marketers that will buy from them would have to go out there and sell it for maybe 1,000 to 1,300 or even 1,500 naira per liter. Depends on the distance. Okay. Right now, a liter of petroleum in the Niger Delta region is above 1,200 naira per liter. They were supposed to be the owners of the crude oil, ladies and gentlemen. However, this scheme, this scam of a regime continue giving. By the way, they continue. Like I said, they are doubling down. So right now, if you raise, I probably would have wanted somebody like Fisayo Shoyombo to be on their case. But Nigeria is such an unreal place, okay, where even the people wanted to be lied to. If you dare try to kind of tell them the truth, you will be sacrificed on the altar of falsehood. That is what the Nigeria is all about. As much as the whole thing is not adding up, they still want to believe the lie. Imagine a Ronuku telling you that, yes, the price is still going to come down when the dollar and naira comes down. So the price of petroleum, they were supposed to have refined in Nigeria inside the Port Harcourt refinery. And somebody is talking about dollars, talking about naira. A supposed national refinery, okay? So they wanted the lies to be true. And if you question it, you are going to be tagged the enemies of progress, enemies of Nigeria. So aren't they lucky? The Nigerian criminal politicians, are they not so lucky? If you are looking for the luckiest job in the world, go and be a politician in Nigeria, a politician inside that contraption. There are already man-made, ready-made zombies, the voluntary slaves. The same contraption that sent comedians, skit makers, and they call them scientists. Take a look at the logo on the top of this photo. PCNGI, PICNG. This is a supposed government of Nigeria, government of Tinubu's body, an agency in charge and promoting the CNG in Nigeria. And take a look at the name on this image on your screen. Olayinka Okunujade or Akenujade, Ola of Lagos, a former, what do you call it? A former street, I think it was a former door boy, right, who was a complete illiterate, was sent to India. And when they made a video of him talking about to go and study the CNG, the technicality of a CNG, how CNG is good for your car, compressed natural gas. Guess what they called him? They called him the scientist. In the video that they are making for their propaganda, they called this former door boy, who is now running, creating content to help people who are selling cars. You know, if you have luxury cars, if you have a luxury house, is a keyword is plenty, is plenty. Wow, see that fire is plenty. Now they call him a scientist. Okay, Tifnumbu's government called this boy a scientist, so as to promote their, you know, fraudulent CNG ideology in that contraption. So if you are a scientist, or if you are, for example, if you are an engineering student or engineer, you are an engineer, I mean, you should feel insulted, okay, that the person that is going to come and explain the technicality of a CNG to you is a former door boy, a content creator that Tifnumbu and his gang called a scientist. Isn't that really like ridiculous? This is the type of propaganda they are pushing in that contraption. None of them will use the CNG car. None of them will even enter any CNG bus. But if the price is right, their job is to convince you that their CNG is safe, is plenty. Okwo, very, very plenty. Now, we'll leave them there, okay? And take a tour back to France. You see, more revelations are coming on why France is courting Tifnumbu. I didn't even know at the time that most of the Francophone countries, they have severed relationship with France. They no longer want to be with France. No joke. Senegal has told France to remove all their base, right, from their country. Not only that, all the French companies that are milking Senegal, they have been told to leave. Okay? Same thing with Chad. Chad, recently, they said, has also cancelled their defense cooperation with France, which means they no longer want to buy weapons from France, and they don't want French forces in their countries too. All the French companies taking their own mineral resources, they have also been told to leave. Remember that Burkina Faso started it, Niger, and then Mali. So now, it's not just that, too. Even the Côte d'Ivoire, they've told them, Togo, they've told France to go to hell. They don't want them in their country anymore. So this is happening. In the last 2 years, this economic reversal has hit France so much that Shaguri, who has been holed up in France, wanted in some countries, the confidant of Tifnumbu, the man that sold the Aluku plane to Nigeria for $150 million, told them that with Tifnumbu, trust me, we can possibly regain everything that the French government have lost in these West African countries. So Shaguri, right, not only facilitated this druggie. Kilo Shetinungule know why? How come your mouth can't be like this? They say if it be, I don't know, I don't want to be a doctor, okay? But those of you who are pretty much able to tell us what this means, okay? I noticed that recently, and I was like, Shoni stroke ini. What happened to him like this? Some said that the drug abuse and drug overuse or something. Anyway, so France has now been cutting the English-speaking West African countries just early this month, right? They invited Akufo-Addo, the man that also ran the Ghana economy aground. This guy destroyed Ghana economy beyond anything anybody can relate with as we speak. Remember that Ghana, that they used to tell you that Ghana is getting better, Ghana is this and that. They also voted for their own APC. Egbekegbe, Akufo-Addo has destroyed Ghana economy, just like they've destroyed Nigeria economy. He opened the door to the IMF, to the World Bank, And today, Ghana, like many other West African countries, they are now going about with a board, Bambi Allah board. So early this month, Macron actually honored Akufo-Addo with the title of Grand Officer de la Légion d'Honneur by France, right? That means it's like the highest honor to be given to international head of state or head of state of another country in France, because they wanted access to Ghanaian resources like their gold, their tea, coffee. Anything they can take from Ghana.